Okay golfers, driver versus iron. What is the difference? The key question, it gets asked all the time. Let's keep it really simple and show you the main points of difference. So let's talk impact first. What needs to happen and what is the crucial difference between driver and iron? So obviously with driver, the main goal is distance and the ball's on a tee. So that is obviously the main difference. And what we want is an upward angle of attack where that club head is rising as it comes into the ball. What's that going to do? That is going to launch that ball higher with less spin, which is in turn going to get you distance. You don't have the element of ground strike with a driver. You're not trying to hit the ground. You're trying to hit that ball on the upswing. So that is obviously what we're looking for there, extra distance. Whereas when we come to an iron, we're looking for consistency of strike. We're looking for distance control. We're looking for accuracy. We're looking for different things when we're using an iron. So impact wise, we are trying to strike the ball first, the ground second. The bottom of your swing with an iron's probably going to be about 2, 3, 4 inches after the ball. That club head is travelling down, hits the ball, hits the ground. So the lowest point is before the ball, whereas when we use driver, that lowest point of the swing is before the ball. So low point before the ball, irons, low point after the ball. And that's just thinking about where that club reaches its lowest point. So because we want them to do different things, we have to do different things. It is not the exact same. So let's talk the key differences in setup. Setup with a driver, because we want that impact, we want that upward angle of attack, we want that lowest point before the golf ball. We're going to do two things. We're going to put the ball further forward in the stance. So that ball is going to be positioned somewhere between the left heel, left shoulder, left ear. It's going to be left of the middle of your body. It's going to be left of your armpit. That normally dictates where the lowest point of the swing is, your left armpit. So it needs to be further forward than this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tilt that upper body to the right. Only about 5-10 degrees. Stick a club across your body. Let the club touch your leg. That's about the right amount. It's only about 5 degrees. It's not a lot. So we've tilted to the right, away from the target, with the ball further forward. That is the key difference between driver and iron. When we set ourselves up for an iron, again, if we think of this left armpit, this crease dictates low point. We need the ball to be behind the left armpit. So obviously mid irons are going to be more central at your sternum. Longer irons are going to be slightly left of centre. But still, key element to this, still behind this left armpit. That is low point, so the ball needs to be behind it. The other key difference is obviously once we have that ball position, so rough rule of thumb, we're going to have pitching wedge to 7 iron in the middle, and we're going to place 6, 5, 4 slightly left of that. But equally with the upper body rather than being tilted behind, it's going to be stacked on top of the lower body more. So it's going to be more level. You'll probably feel quite a bit more weight on the left side. And if we went to spine tilt, there's not much at all. Shoulders are more level, less tilt, very much stacked upon the lower body. That is the key differences at setup. So we've got driver, ball forward, tilted back. We've got irons, ball back, top half stacked upon the lower half. Then let's move on to backswing. So the key difference with backswing is when we're using driver, we are going to have more load behind the golf ball. The upper body, because it starts behind it more, we also want to turn behind the ball more. So more this way and less this way. And a lot of golfers do struggle with how they coil the body. And a really easy visual and an easy thing that you can think about is, think about turning your left shoulder across towards the big toe of your right foot. Okay, so it's not going all the way across, and it doesn't even go there, it just goes towards that right foot. So from that setup position, we want the left shoulder to go towards the right foot. So it's going to go across the way. It's going to fully coil behind the ball. What we're ideally looking for in a driver swing is we're looking for more of a, we want the upper body further away from the target than the hips. And what we can see is in this Sportsbox data is that's called a negative sway gap. So sway gap being what's closer to the target. Is it your upper body or is it your lower body? Best drivers in the world are coiling the upper body away from the target. That's what we want at impact. When we come down to hit that golf ball, we want the hips closer to the target than the upper body. A lot of people who struggle with driver get a positive sway gap. And what that is, that's when the upper body is moving towards the target and it's closer than what the hips are. And that can get you in a lot of trouble when you're using driver. So really simple, left shoulder towards the right foot. We've got the chest, the left shoulder, the head, all of these parts of your upper body are loaded behind the golf ball. So are the irons the same? Not really. So the difference is with driver, we're obviously going more behind the ball. When you're using your irons, I want you to feel a bit more on top of the ball. The setup should help, but when we're swinging back, we want to rotate and stay centered. We don't want much movement off the ball. We want a more centered rotation. And when you get up to the top of the backswing, it's going to feel like the chest and the left shoulder and the head are more on top of the golf ball. That is what we're looking for. We're less behind the ball and we're a bit more on top of it. Why is that? Number one, we want to try and start the downswing with some weight shift. Number two, we're trying to strike ground after the ball. We are moving low point after the ball. So that's really, really going to help us do that. So that's a really good drill. That's something that you can do. You can place your club down, hands hang on your legs, and from there we want to go this way. Left hand goes towards the left knee, the right hand goes towards the right pocket. So this way we're in the posture and we're coiling this way. So it's a centered rotation, very much on top of the ball, ready to strike down and hit good iron shots. And then if we talk about downswing, again, some key differences. Upper body again, when you're using driver, from that coiled, loaded position, we want to keep the head and the chest behind the ball as we're approaching impact. If we had a line down our left ear, we don't want that upper body moving towards the target too quickly. We're going to keep that upper body behind, strike the ball, then the chest is going to move up. That's also going to help keep the head back, but head and chest behind the ball, chest moves up, left shoulder moves up, upward angle of attack because of that, and that's definitely one of the key things you want to think about when you're making your downswing. And then opposed to that, with an iron, from that position at the top that's more on top of the ball, I just want you to think about getting left. Get the weight shifting towards the target, try and hit the ball with the weight on the left, the upper body very much on top of the ball. So if you drew a line from your chest and your head, very much on top of the ball, less behind the ball, and that's going to encourage those divots after the golf ball. So that is the key differences from that more stacked position, upper body on top of the lower body. Weight shifts left shoulder moves back to where it started quite early, and that's really going to help that weight shift to the left, the strikes of the ground after the golf ball, and then we can start to build some consistency right through the bag. There's nothing more frustrating than having a good day with driver and a terrible day with irons. Then you turn up the next day and then you have a good day with irons and not a good day with the driver. So hopefully this gives you a really good understanding of the differences between driver and iron. A couple of different simple swing thoughts that can really help you perform well with both. So guys, if you're new to the channel, please do click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and even click that notification bell so you're first to know about the videos that come out every single week. Also, why don't you guys comment which are you better with? Are you better with driver? Are you better with iron? Pop that comment down below. What is your best club in the bag? Or it might be something else, but comment down below what is better out of your driver and your irons, and which tips would you like to see. If you'd like some extra help with your golf, check out the description link below. You'll see just here on the screen, you can get a lesson with me via the Skillest app. All we need to do is click that link in the description, follow me via the Skillest app, send some swings, and we're good to go at improving your golf. Once again guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time on the channel.